From parts unknown at a weight of 300 pounds, introducing Mr. X. Mr. X. His opponent, ladies and gentlemen, at 233 pounds, Mr. Wrestling number 2. Wrestling number 2.
And there's no question about it, of course. This is the real Wrestling number 2. The other Wrestling number 2 exists no more as far as I'm concerned, and I'm sure as far as the wrestling fans are concerned. This Mr. X, a big fella. He has to go over 300 pounds. And I notice Mr. X missing, and wait a second, Superstar. The Superstar over at ringside talking to Mr. X. Mr. X missing again with that right hand. And it's obvious Mr. X taking direct orders from the Superstar. Wrestling 2 gets the leg. Mr. X gets into those ropes. And again, you see the Superstar with more comments to it. This has to be somewhat disquieting to Wrestling 2 to have somebody at ringside, and now it is Wrestling 2 catches him. Wrestling 2 catches him once again. Wrestling 2 caught him in the midsection. Not enough to drop him, however. Snap mare that takes him to the canvas. Side headlock, Wrestling 2. High knee lift that put him down. A knee lift that put him down, and again, Wrestling 2 charges another knee lift, this one into the side of the rib cage. A lateral press. It is all over. It is all over for Mr. X and Wrestling 2. After that mask, Wrestling 2. After the mask of Mr. X. Mr. X trying to keep that mask on, but Wrestling 2 fighting to remove that mask. Wait a minute. Superstar just charged Wrestling 2 from behind. Superstar after the mask of Wrestling 2. Superstar trying to rip that mask off. Wrestling 2. Caught from behind. The referee hurtled backwards. And it is Superstar after that mask of Wrestling number 2. Wrestling 2 trying desperately to hold on to it. But it is the Superstar continuing to pull at that mask of Wrestling 2. He continues to try and get it off again. The referee throwing to one side. The Superstar has his mask. And now the Superstar. Wrestling 2 concealing his identity in a Superstar. Putting the boots to Wrestling 2. And we're trying to get everything separated here now. Trying to get these things separated. And we have a...
That's what you belong. Underneath the rock. With all the rest of the slime in the earth. Come on, Stu. You're supposed to be so tough. He's going to ruin me, huh? Without this mask. He said it. A masked man is ruined. And you just saw me destroy Mr. Immortal himself. Wrestling number 2. I'll tell you, I don't usually get so happy, but I'm feeling very, very proud of myself, Gordon. Where's he at? Where's the big Wrestling number 2 now? Come on, 2.
Well,
come on and get your mask.
You came in from behind the man. You hit him with a Sunday punch. That's one thing.
He gets everything he deserves. I ran you out of here. I thought you were going to stay, but evidently we had a failure to communicate. This is communication. This is getting the message across to Wrestling number 2 and to the few fans you've got left. I'm going to destroy you, Wrestling number 2. I'm going to take the thing that you like, the thing you've worked for all of your life, the thing you've cherished for throughout your wrestling career. This mask. Because you said it, fella. This means everything. Money, belts, they're important. But this mask is everything to wrestling number 2. Just like mine is to me. And I've got it. And I'm telling you, I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to destroy you.
Well, we'll find out all about that. That's all the time we have for this hour of Georgia Championship Wrestling.
Thanks for watching Georgia Championship Wrestling. The announcers on this program were employed by Georgia Championship Wrestling Incorporated. Join us next time for more action and excitement. The top wrestlers in the world today on Georgia Championship Wrestling.
Along with Kevin Sullivan.
There's a whole lot of things going on right here. There's a whole lot happening right here today. You know, Wrestling 2 Superstar. Wrestling 2's mask had never been off. Superstar run up behind him and knock him down and take it off of him. Well, you know, I know how 2 feels about that mask. So Superstar, I think he might be bit off a little more than you can chew. As far as Austin Idol and this Mr. Eddie Mansfield, we're fixing to get them in just a little bit, too. You know, but the main thing is, though, at the Omni, that's a big night. You know, Wahoo McDaniels, he's coming back to town. Mr. Koloff and Smirnoff, y'all got the title. But Wahoo and myself, y'all been together for a while, and y'all are a super good team. I'll give you that. But you said there wasn't no American team here that could take you. Well, I think right here stands one guy, and Wahoo McDaniel's coming back to town. And I talked to him. He's been to Japan and all over. And that's a man of his word. And he said he thought we could take you, too. So at the Omni, y'all get them belts ready, brother, because we're coming after them.
That'll be Sunday, January 13th. I think has one of the most brilliant futures in store for him in the professional ranks of wrestling than anyone that I've ever met in the past. I'm referring, of course, to Mr. USA, Tony Atlas.
Well, thank you very much, God. You know, a lot of people, you know, they ask me, they say what to do, you know, to become a professional wrestler. And all the advice, you know, I can give them is, you know, just train long and hard. You got to hit that gym. You got to start early, you know, and just work your way to the top. To get anything in life, you got to work hard for it. You know, you can't be shucking and jabbing and playing away. You got to put your heart to it. You got to put your man to it and get on out there and do it.
Of course, recently you set an unofficial bench press record, did you not?
Yes, sir. The old record was 539 pounds in 242-pound class, and I did 540. You know, just something to pass the time away.
Something to pass the time away, and what a way to pass the time away. We're going to be watching you in action in just a couple of moments against a fellow that goes right at 300 pounds.
That's right. You know, the guys getting bigger, they're getting stronger. You take a man like this man here, he's 300 pounds, but not only is he big and strong, the man can move, and the man knows wrestling, and the man is rugged.
Okay, Tony, why don't you hop into that ring, and we'll turn it over to our ring announcer at this time.
Ladies and gentlemen, this event, one fall with a 10-minute time limit, one fall 10. Introducing first from Nashville at 302 pounds, Tony Perkins. Tony Perkins. His opponent, ladies and gentlemen, from Roanoke, Virginia, at 255 pounds, the 1979 Mr. USA, Tony Atlas. Tony Atlas.
All right, Tony Atlas moving against this 300-pounder. Can you imagine bench pressing 540 pounds? Now, that's doing something. Of course, there are so many extremely powerful men. You got, as an example, superstar Billy Graham. You've got this man, Ken Patera, who's certainly one of the strongest men in the world. Tony Atlas outpowered his man that time, took him to the canvas. Again, they lock up, and it is a top wrist lock. And it is again Atlas overpowering him. You can see those muscles tensing. There is not a portion of Tony's body that isn't absolutely completely muscled and under his control at all times. You could see and as Perkins let fly one to the midsection, Tony Atlas retaliated very quickly. Atlas smashing him into that far turnbuckle. Atlas moves in again. Notice the tremendous confirmation of those spinae erecti. Good power slam. He brought up 300 pounds, slammed him to the canvas. And I don't think Perkins believed that happened to him, as I doubt if Perkins has been slammed very many times in his career as a professional wrestler, but he was slammed that time by Tony Atlas. 300 pounds of live weight, I might add. It's a lot different than dead weight. Perkins, using those forearms, has Atlas. Atlas back in the corner now. It is Perkins starting to close in. And the referee being moved aside as Atlas explodes on Tony Perkins. Atlas whips him into the turnbuckle. Tony Atlas with a headbutt that had Perkins dazed. And Atlas trying to bring him up, has him up. Tony Atlas has him up. Moving him in the airplane spin. And Tony Atlas dumps him unceremoniously, crashes down, catches him again. Tony Atlas had over 300 pounds up there in that airplane. Now again crashes across his man. And it is all over. Whee! I'm telling you, when Tony Atlas talks about dedication, self-sacrifice, and hitting those gyms, that's exactly what he means, and he evidenced it just now, bringing that man up for that tremendous airplane spin, the full body slam, the lateral press, and then crashing down on him, and it was all over indeed. All right, it's time for our regular weekly feature here at Ringside Wrestling Profile. So at this time, it's my pleasure to turn it over to my friend, Freddie Miller.
Thank you, Gordon, very much. Wrestling number 2 is with us, and fans, we've said during the beginning here with Gordon that the ringside segment of this program will be devoted to you, and rightfully so. Something happened recently that I know you want to comment about. We're going to show again, just for those who may have missed it. You were in a match here on television, and had your man beaten. It was a mystery man, a Mr. X, who came out masked, and then all of a sudden all hell broke loose.
Well, you know, I had doubts at times about Superstar hiring these guys, but my doubts is completely eliminated as of right now. This